All right, welcome back, everybody. Matt Canick, joined by Soren the Husky and Josh Sokol, and we are here with two more games of action today from the Canadian Scrabble Classic. This one's going to be a good one.
So let's go over to the current game that we're about to watch between Max Panitch going first and not Heather McCall, but Christopher Sykes, who is, he is 8-1. Everything is good except for the name. There you go. Very quick fix from our producer. And we're ready to get rolling. Chris Sykes, Max Panitch.
Yeah, this is going to be a good one. Both of these guys, I feel like, on the top of their games right now. Max has been on a roll this tournament withstanding. But yeah, I am excited to see this game. And while Max may not have a lot to play for, there's always rating, there's always pride. And we'll see if he's able to play spoiler here as the nice WTF and then a V to go with it. Not the start he was looking for in this game. EFTTSVW, the rack for him. And this, do you play Weft or do you play Wefts?
Yeah, these are always tough. I usually opt for keeping the S, but it looks like Max is going to take the points here, considering he's leaving himself with two rather than three consonants. Maybe a little bit more workable if he gets a few consonants to add on to those. It's always pretty close, but I think I slightly prefer setting up the S hook. If you're here from CSW, you might know the word WEFTE. It actually came up in a previous game, but that is not valid in the North American lexicon, so no worry about that. So I think I would have preferred the S, but it's usually worth around 10 points to keep an S. So yeah, either way.
Yeah, the S on the star is always so dangerous because if your opponent is sitting on a weak 7, it now becomes a strong 8. You just play it down to the S, and so many words begin with an S as well. You're just opening yourself up to get absolutely crushed. I almost never play the S, even with the 10-point difference like that, but your mileage may vary, and holding three consonants instead of two, there's something to be said for that as well. So, Weft's the play, and that's going to allow Chris to counter with MC out of CEEEIMN. I would not have played that probably. I think I would have just taken the standard EME beneath, but Chris looking to play a little bit longer. And you stick with your style, especially when your tournament's been going as well as Chris's has. So MC makes the score 30-18, and LRSTUVX the rack for Max. Now he is playing Vexed here. And I think that makes sense. Maybe you hold off the T, but I think you probably want to play it here and get rid of one extra consonant. So Vexed from Max pretty quickly here, holding Slur on his rack. And we'll see if he's able to find a bingo next turn. Looks promising for him.
I hope we don't see bocce-ing, which is, I guess, if it were a word, the act of playing bocce game. I guess similar in size to Scrabble. But yeah, I'm not really sure. There's no I for biogenic for Chris. Maybe you want to play a lot of tiles here. Maybe you only want to play a couple, keep the ing together. But the C does not go super well with the ing. So I'd like to play that at the very least. But bocce looks quite strong, and this is what he's going with.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different spellings of this word. BOCCE, BOCCI, and BOCCIE, all acceptable. But Chris opting to play the E here to keep ING together. And while ING, we say all the time on these streams, it's a trap, it's still better than ENG, and you still got to try it, especially with that S sitting there. So I agree with this play from Chris. If you're going to play bocce, play that bocce and not either of the other spellings. Now Max into his slur picks up another L, a W, and an N. That is not at all what he was looking for. I think we're going to see one of two plays here, either nulls for 6 or exchange. Josh, do you see any other plays that would entice you to try to work through on this turn?
Yeah, I don't think that Max is going to play nulls because the idea of playing wefts seems to be like, I want to beat you to the punch to drawing a bingo to that S. So then blocking it now seems like you're sort of backpedaling. I think it's a fine play, and it really reduces variance. Like you said, lots of 7 letter words are going to score 80 points just randomly because of that S just hanging. But I know Max's style. I don't think he usually makes defensive plays that keep like W's. So yeah, it looks like he's exchanging, and we're probably going to see Genius from Chris Sykes to come back. And yeah, immediately.
So yeah, the exchange, and then Chris wasting no time, as we've seen him do. He knows his high probability racks very well. Well, when he plays the correct bingo, but yeah, Genius coming down, his best play that will spring him ahead, 97-58. We're yet to see what Max has even drawn. That's how quickly the play came down. APUEI. Okay, so a bunch of vowels into his RS leave, but also a bingo on this rack
Yep.
for Max. Just the one, the 7 letter
Yep.
up raise.
Yeah, he should see that with relative ease, but I think if I were him, I would take some time to look through the N's of Genius, maybe through the G as well. Take a brief look at the B of Bocce and the I's of Genius. And once you don't see anything, just play upraise in the one spot, making oot atop of the T of vexed. So I expect to see that. Yeah, I know that Max does not alphabetize his letters. I think he studies by reading the dictionary, if I'm not mistaken, or reading the word list rather than alphagramming. But yeah, upraise, very cool hook on the word praise. Sometimes people get a little bit shocked when they play praise or praised, and a U comes down to hook it. It's one of those fun hooks.
Yeah, I love those front U hooks. I think the other one that pops into mind for me is plink to uplink. I love that one. A little surprise U in the front of your word. Not many front U hooks, but they feel good when you get them. So upraise the bingo. Max is up 128-97. EEKMSTU for Sykes. And he gets to make a big decision in terms of driving the shape and the pacing of this game. KUE next to Genius, making KIUN, and EN is 27, holds stem, very standard play, equity play, tons of floaters available, keep the bingo bro stuff right. But Musket plays for 38 with up raises. So if you want to play long, play for turnover, get this game wide open and go digging for a blank, Musket is a decent option. Josh, would you take equity here and play KUE, or are you going aggro and playing Musket?
No, you've missed the play I would make. I would play TE for 2 to the E and upraise, try to draw an R.
Musketeer, yeah. Nice.
Got to give you a little bit of a quiz once in a while. But no, all jokes aside, I think KUE very standard here. No need to blow your rack up and open 2 triple word scores at this score. You're at a small deficit. Yeah, take KUE, and MEST goes very well. Or he's going even more aggro. Okay, he's setting up his S. This is the second to last S, so there is a lot of hidden value from this setup play of Musket. I think it's decently aggressive. I think I still would have played KUE, but yeah, I like this idea as well for Chris.
Yeah, that is very aggressive, but might pay huge dividends for him. Let's see what he pulls. As Matt has pulled triple doubles, AA, NN, RR, and an L. That hurts to look at, so I'm going to watch Chris draw instead. Is he going to get...
Oh,
Zed.
wow.
Okay. That is interesting. That is zesty, you might say. That's going to be fun to come back and look at after this. But let's focus on Max and his options. One standout play for him plays through the E and upraise. That's Anear, Anear, for 29. That's sneaky. That's awesome. It's tough to spot. We'll see if he's able to get it.
Yeah, these are the plays that Max finds with ease. He's already spotted it. The overlapping play is very cute ways to get rid of some really bad tiles. This is what separates the top players from everyone else. Everyone else might see this play after looking for a while. Max spots it within 30 seconds and is confident enough to lay it down, gets rid of his triple doubles. This isn't basketball. Triple doubles are not a good thing in this sport, and we love this play.
This play gives back 73.
Okay, I'm looking.
Wow.
Oh, zounds! Oh my goodness.
Sounds. Zound. Ah! Okay. 73. But dozes is so easy to spot. You know, you just set it up. You want to hit your own setup for 62. But if you look a little bit harder, Zounds is 73. Easy to miss, and he's going to miss it here.
Yeah, this is 62. It's probably close, honestly. You don't want to put that S out in space. Um, yeah, but definitely a better play to play Zounds. That is crazy stuff. Anybody who spots that play deserves a pat on the back. But Dozes is the play for Chris Sykes. Max's turn. What are we looking at here? A little bit of an improvement.
Yeah, you'd love to find a floating E for blinders, but that's not in the cards. No bingos available here. 35 points for Max if he plays Rids, making 4 overlaps next to Anear. Mar, Uni, Upraised, and KAS. But that Mar takes so many back hooks, you're just conceding a triple word to your opponent, and you need to be able to respond if you're going to make that. The leave of BLN, I don't know that you are responding. Also notable, there are 2 unseen blanks still. And Dozes, to me, I think if there's a blank on his rack, he probably spins a little bit longer making sure he doesn't have a bingo somewhere, anywhere. So I think as of last turn, both blanks were still in the bag, and I'd love to find a way to go digging into it if I can.
Yeah, I agree. This is definitely an interesting spot to try inferential based plays, where you're looking at the play your opponent just made and gathering information from it. We know that Chris didn't have two I's for iodizes, didn't have OI for doozies, and if he had a blank, he didn't have an O or an I. So I'm staring down at the unseen letters, which we do on our score sheets. We write down the letters that were played, we track them, and we get closer and closer to knowing what's left until the very end of the game, where we should have tracked everything and we know what our opponents have. I'm looking at all of those unseen O's, all of those unseen I's, and also those A's. But I also look at those blanks. I'm like, what should I do? I need to be careful. I need to avoid some landmines, but I also would benefit from drawing the first blank.
I think Max's play here is Bryn making cab and ERR. That sets up what has become the last S. 3 have been played already. So if you play KAB and Bryn, you set up your S in a position that's really hard to be obstructed. But Max is going to play bald here instead, trying to retain the I, but I think Bryn is the kind of play that gives you a lot of life in a game that doesn't feel like you may have too much left. Big missed opportunity here for Max.
Yeah, absolutely. That was Bryn was a much stronger play than Bald. This one was a little bit slow, but to just recognize the possibility of setting up your last S, I would have liked to see that from Max. I think he did see some overlaps on the right side of Upraise and Anear, but he did not spot the ones lower down that do such a good job at setting him up, and he's suffering the consequences. Look at this. He's got triple doubles again.
Triple double, man. He's like Victor. I live in San Antonio now, so I can claim Victor as mine, right? Let's go, Team Wimby. But triple doubles once again for Max, not in the good way. And man, he's got to be a little bit frustrated. IINNRR. Like, this is how you draw when you're having a bad tournament. And you got to just try to figure out where to play RIN and keep going. He can still play ERR and RIN and set up that S once again. Not quite as strong as playing KAB, but it's something. It's a line that Chris is going to have to deal with that'll annoy him. And he can hold INRS, which is fine. For Chris, though, this turn is rather hard. LOUVY altogether, yeesh. I don't know. You can play Novelty from either N and Geniest and just kind of make it all go away. But I see the bag is half vowels, and I'm holding a U after that play. I'm going to end up in trouble. At the same time, I'm excited, right? If I play off 6 tiles with 2 unseen blanks, that's awesome. The big red flag, though, I think if Max plays BALD and it's not a blunder like it was, that to me looks like you've got 6 consonants and a blank. Like, that's why you make a play of bald in that situation. 7 consonants, you're probably throwing back. If you have a vowel, you're probably scoring better. So if I'm Chris, red flags going off, I think Max has a blank, even though we know Max just made a weird play.
Yeah, this is a really tough spot for Chris Sykes. Maybe he wants to do something like Volute and ED. I think Novelty is still better. It scores a lot more. Maybe he wants to play a little bit slower with Vug. Yeah, that's what he's doing, keeping some
Don't
balance
play
with the
volute.
unseen
It takes the
letters.
front E.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
not. But then that takes an R. I don't know. It's interesting. You could also have played
Well,
ovule and ED and set up your Y, since you might assume that Max is keeping not very good scoring tiles after the play of bald. Once again with the inferential stuff. Yeah, very very tough spot. Vug makes sense. Now back to Max in another really weird position.
yeah, this is just ERR and Ren. It's gotta be, as sad as that is. Like, ERR and Ren. I don't know. Maybe you're trying to hold out for like an up razor play, but you've got double I's, double R's, double N's. You just play Ren and also set up your S. I don't know that there's too much else to analyze here.
Yeah, I wonder what he's looking at here. Doesn't look like he's looking at anything in particular. He's probably just like not wanting to even look at his rack because it's so ugly. But I agree with you. Playing RIN is just the right amount of aggression here. He has the last S for ERRS. Of course, there are 2 blanks out. And again, the play that his opponent just made, now vice versa, looks very fishy. So, yeah, I'd be worried. But both players, I think, are both quite worried at this point that no blank has been seen. This is a psychological thing that happens so often in Scrabble when the blanks come out a little bit late. You're just always on edge, wondering when or if your opponent is going to hit you hard with a blank.
Uh, he's getting ready to pull the trigger on Rin. But yeah, I totally agree with what you said. Like, this is one of those games where it's like, I thought you had the blank and I was playing tight, but you were playing tight because you thought I had the blank. And sure, like, the blanks are going to be 2 of the last 3 tiles in the bag or something dumb like that, because that's how Scrabble be. But yeah, I would be in my own head in either one of their chairs right now. I think they've got a blank, and I don't feel good about any of this.
Yeah, indeed. I don't know. It's also really unfortunate that after the play of RIN, what Max has to work with on other parts of the board, other than the lane where you can play a 7-letter word on the second to bottom row, hooking the D and dozes. The other letters are letters he already has. The 2 N's and the I of Geniest. He's not going to draw into a lot of plays that duplicate those letters through the N and the I. So he's hoping for a 7-letter word here, and we're gonna have to see this. He's pretty likely. I think he's around 30 or so percent, maybe slightly more, to draw into a bingo here. So let's see what he gets.
Oh, I'd put it over 30% for sure.
Erasion.
Yeah, Sim says 42.
42.
And
Wow. That's
so he hit his near coin flip, 42%. He's got non-Aries through the N or Raison. He's got a Eurasian. So Max to bingo next turn, though not in the spot that he just set up. And getting that bingo down is going to be huge because both blanks are still in the bag. So if you bingo here and then draw a blank, the board is open enough that I think you're going to bingo again. If not next turn, then the turn after. This is a big swing. Max needed to draw this, and he needed Chris to miss on his bingos. This is a big turn of events. Booty. All right,
wow.
Booty coming from Chris. I would play Blooey, I think, out of this rack just to get more vowels off my rack. I really did like the play of Yoof as well, just to start obstructing, but this is what Chris is opting for. And that's going to put him ahead 218 to 179. But Max to bingo, non-Aries, Raison, or Eurasian, the three playable bingos.
Yeah, we're gonna see. I think raison. I guess let's try to pronounce things in French, since I'm the token French speaker here. And yeah, it's a very interesting play of booty. Normally, you don't want to do that. You're opening a huge spot for your opponent to come back on the triple on the bottom left corner. But because of the play of RIN, Chris knows that Max is keeping some bingo tiles, not keeping some scoring tiles most of the time. So he can allow himself to open that spot, but he hasn't drawn into anything in that spot. So yeah, we might see some very high scores in the next couple of moves with Max, who has now taken a small lead, and Chris, who's fighting from behind with two blanks unseen. This is a very important draw. Let's see what Max gets.
Two blanks, but also a Q and five A's. This could go any direction for Max. It is absolutely huge what tiles he's turning over. And before Max can even give away a tell, Chris is playing leapt, keeping a lot of vowels again. Oh man, you can't do that, Chris.
Wow, and what a great draw for Max. He's drawn a blank. Does he have anything? He might have a
He has
weird
no
seven-letter
bingo,
word
but he has
here.
49 and
Yeah, he just has
HAAR.
HAAR. Yeah. Oh, right. Fireworks.
Whoa, there's one blank, there's the second. All right.
I don't think Chris has anything though.
He has one
Oh no, he has
bingo.
Chally.
Is
Chally.
Chally.
CHALLIE making MAE. That's going to stay open so long as Max spots his play of HAAR, which is a weird four-letter word. It is definitely missable, but he's going to be eyeing that spot, and yeah, he sees it. He's Max. What am I even saying?
Chally is tough to know, but if anybody's going to know it, Chris is. He's already shown us some insane words, some other CH words, Yashmak, earlier in the tournament. So I think Max gonna hit 49 and then Chris gonna hit 66. This is gonna be spicy. And all of a sudden it went from who's gonna get this blank, they're gonna win. Well, they split the blanks, they're each gonna hit them big. Is Max gonna be able to bingo with the blank after HAAR? And then the other question, who's gonna draw the Q here? The Q starting to look more and more dangerous unless you draw the U to go with it. I think the person who draws the Q is likely to lose this game.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we have the scores now 245, I think, to 242 in Max's
Oh yeah,
favor. He's about to score 49. Is that correct? With HAAR.
yeah.
Um, and yeah, it's his only play. He's briefly looked at hair, but that doesn't work. IY, but the only thing he's looking for here is a bingo. If he has a bingo here, it's definitely worth considering. But 49 keeping a blank is going to beat a lot of possible bingos, especially if those are playing on the second to right column, where Chris might be hoping that he can use next turn. It'll be very interesting to see how quickly, if at all, Chris spots his playable bingo.
Yeah, he's given us no indication one way or the other that he's Chally or that he's seen Chally, but I've got to expect that he does. He's got to be feeling okay though. Maybe he's doing the math right now. Do I play Chally for 66 or do I play HEAL next to Booty and hold my blank? But he's going to get hit with almost exactly the same play, HAAR instead, and his opponent gets to hold the blank. So I feel like we've been back and forwards all game of like what they both think the other one has the blank, and now they're both looking to maybe bypass a bingo prone rack to play a blank. They've been in similar situation for several turns. It might come down to the very last play here, but I think again that Q looking to be like a big old Trojan horse in this game.
Yeah, there's also this um, very plausible word that Max has. I think harakiri, which is a very brutal Japanese word, but it's not playable or not a word in Scrabble. But that I think has been played before. Could very much think that that's a word if you know any Japanese. But he's looking. He's looking. He's not finding anything. Arrizzle, Arrizal, is a word, I believe, that also doesn't fit. But yeah, Max is just going through the motions here. He has some time left. He's under 10 minutes, though. In this game, you really especially want to leave yourself with some time. So,
Whoa! Just HA?
Wow.
Whoa.
That is so bizarre.
Okay. That is a play that Max made. And so we are going to move on in the game. And that's going to make things. I already gave him the points for Har and everything. I got to undo the score now. That's going to make it 265 to 242 in Max's favor. And what has he drawn? Oh. So he's got Uraris.
Yeah, that is a word, and
Which is not
Urari
good.
to go with it. Urari's is Collins. It's not good. No, it's not good in anything. No. I've gotten this played on me by none other than Matt Tunnicliffe. Oh gosh. Oh my god. Are we gonna see a phony next turn? This is crazy. He had Har lined up multiple times. This is just a complete and utter brain fart on Max's side. I can't believe that.
Well, there's also Wu, Rari, and Mar and Uni acceptable. So if he's even a little unsure on Urari's or doubts it, he's still got the playable Wu Rari, assuming Chris doesn't play Chally here. What a nuts game. And then I think Chris is not going to play his bingo either. It looks like he's picked up just AHIL, which he's going to play here.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. You don't spot the bingo. This is a good play. But yeah, are we going to see Uraris? Are we going to see it challenged off? Or are we going to see Wurari? And this game has taken quite the turn. Very, very surprised.
Draw the Q. What's his last tile? Is it the Q? Is he in trouble? No. So the Q's still in the bag. This is getting very, very interesting. Wow. 3-point game, Max to play. Uraris and Mar Uni up raises available, but invalid. Wu Rari in the same spot is 70. I messed this one up a lot.
Yeah,
I think Max knows. Oh boy, it's as troublesome. Urali, Wu Rari. One of them is not good. Which one is it? Oh goodness.
Yeah, this is tough. But also Chris sitting on bingos. Oh my god.
Where's the blank going?
Oh!
But
my
Chris
god.
is moving back.
But he has to know.
Sure.
No, he has to know that he is in a terrible position if this stays on the board. His bingo will leave 6 tiles on his rack, emptying the bag, Chris Sykes. Yeah, Max is on hold here. This is a terrible position for Chris Sykes, even if he plays his bingo. through the eye, and he's going to look into the bag. He's going to realize there's 13 in the bag after this, or during this turn. If Max gets away with this, he's going to leave 6 in the bag. Chris is going to draw those 6 after his bingo and be behind. So I think that you have to make this challenge if you have any doubt whatsoever.
Yeah, I presume these are provisional tiles. Oh man, Ourari and Woorari and Oorali are all valid, but this particular permutation is not. These are so tricky to keep right. This is what makes Scrabble so freaking difficult, is trying to remember little things like this. Like we said, there's tools in the tool belt. Everyone helps. Is this one Chris is confident on? As Josh was saying, though, you have to be, you almost have to challenge this. Yielding is not going to do it for you in most cases. Although Max drew the Q and the J. Whoa.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening here. I mean, you were talking about how important the Q is and how bad it would be to draw. I still think that with there being multiple spots for the Q, but not after delaying or yielding, I don't actually know what's going on here. If Urari stays on the board and delaying or yielding is played, Chris will be behind, I think, around 15 points, if I'm not mistaken, or 10 points, and he'll be emptying the bag. But if Max has the Q, he might not be able to score enough in the end game. He might be really stuck. So there actually still is a chance for Chris to win this game, even if he doesn't make the tough challenge here, I think. I just don't know. I don't know what's happening.
I'll go ahead and proceed with the score in the unseen pool as if this is good to show you the situation that Chris would be facing down. He would be down 344 to 262. That is the unseen pool. 2 A's, 2 I's, and a U, the only vowels. J, Q, W, Y, double D's, and a G in there. Really ugly stuff. But if you just take your bingo now, you're drawing half the ugliness. Your opponent's got the other half. You lose to stuff like Wingy. Oh man, he's letting it go and he's going to bingo. Wow.
He
What?
still, I mean, he has until he hits his clock to hold this play. Um, he's playing yodeling, and yeah, he's playing. Okay, I think he's playing this. I think he's accepted Urari's. He's going to draw. Let's see if I get this right.
No,
DDINUW.
I did the pool wrong. Sorry. I did the pool super wrong. That's the unseen pool. AADEFGIIJOQUW. It's even worse. But yodeling, I feel like, is just kind of I'm probably going to lose unless you've got the cue that doesn't fit anywhere or I draw a miracle out of the bag.
But Max has QIOI. I think that's probably going to be enough here. Chris is drawing. He's drawing some scoring tiles, though.
DEFIUW. So wifed plays in the top right, but QI is going to make that go away. I had 2 plays win this game for Max, and the obvious QI is one of the 2.
Yeah, I don't think it wins by so much, but it is very obvious, and I would be very surprised if Max doesn't come away with this. He has 6 minutes, right? 6 minutes, 40 seconds to work all of this out. If he needs to, he can retrack to make sure he knows exactly what Chris has, and he's going to look at that, try to figure out what can Chris do here, what can I do to prevent Chris from doing, and I think he's going to decide that QI is good enough. He can get rid of his J next turn, not score so much, but yeah, enough, I think, to win since he has a 14-point cushion already. Wow, what a crazy game.
Wow. Wow. So the phony Uraris from Max is going to end up winning him this game. And ironically, I think if he had played the correct Woo Rari, he might be losing. the extra points he got from the up raises, I think, gonna be the difference in winning this game. And he wouldn't have QI.
That's insane. That's probably true. It's, oh my goodness, that's a 9 point swing. So you'd only be up five. You wouldn't have QI for 23, making OI. Oh my goodness. That is just, that is incredible.
Yeah,
With that
running
being
all of
said,
this through now, and if Max is going to play Woo Rari and then give up yodeling and draw this exact rack, he would lose. Of course, I know this is your pet peeve. You don't know you're going to draw this exact rack, but
wow.
those extra 9 points are the difference in this game, and Max finds his winning play, or one of the two.
So
This one,
confident.
yeah, I mean, how could you not be?
I mean, I'd be freaking out. I'd do my diligence here. But, if he's tracked properly, if he's confident, that's everything. Confidence is so important at this level. That's why Urari's came down with confidence. That's why all of these plays are pretty much top level. We see a little bit of blundering here and there. HA, very, very surprising. Um, but other than that, yeah, these guys know what they're doing over the board, whether or not they're playing phonies, making suboptimal plays. They are the top players in North America, and they're showing us why they are.
This game made my head hurt. That's all I have to say. This, for all the drubbings we've had on the stream so far this tournament, I think this one made up for it. This one was bonkers, beginning to end. Even the first turn, even Weft versus Wefts was interesting, and just everything, all game has been interesting decisions, weird decisions, missed decisions, awesome decisions, and it's all going to come down to Uraris instead of Woorari too. What a fitting end to a bonkers game.
I don't even know what to say at this point. Chris is probably gonna have to play EW for 32 here. Let Max do whatever he has with his J. What does he have? JO. He has. I don't really know what else he has here. Um, but it is kind of difficult to use this J. So Chris might be trying to complicate things as much as he can. Maybe block the obvious spots for the J or spot. But I don't think it's going to be enough. I mean, Max does have spots for the J. He can play JO, JO, and OR next to Urari's, which would still exist after the play of EW on the right side. He has JO for 17 to the O of Bocce. And yeah, I think those are just enough to win. Maybe Chris is better off just trying to go out in two here. What does the engine say?
He's got nothing. Engine just wants WE and MARE for 36. I don't know that an out in two is in the cards. Just how terrible this rack is.
Yeah, I guess you could play URD, URD through the R and Urari and save wife, but that could just get blocked by JO and HO. Um, yeah, I mean, Chris is gonna look. I don't know how long he's gonna look for. He has all the time in the world to try and snatch victory out of the jaws of defeat here, but doesn't look like anything can happen. But I shouldn't speak too soon. I mean, we've seen just crazy stuff this game as the best play comes down, but it's also the play that just says, there you go, you got it, GG. Yeah, Max, I think, is going to play JO, save AGA in multiple spots, go out next turn, and that'll be it. Crazy stuff, Max.
This was a good one. That's what I'll say about that. Maybe some curious plays, some suboptimal plays, but still a very interesting game to watch, and one that's got to make both of these guys' heads just hurt after the fact. I did find an out in two for Chris. You can play duo to the O and Uraris for 4, setting up wife or wife at the bottom. But it's just such a sad out in two, and he still loses by 30. That's just I want to get out of here as fast as possible. and hit the pub, but not the best end game for him. He did what the right thing was. And Max gonna play Jagra here, I think, instead, just to play off more tiles and make absolutely sure he can get out of here. But Jo slightly better.
Yeah, no, that's a great play as well. Just making sure that he's scoring a little bit extra just in case he's missing something. Good practical decision by Max. And he's going to be able to go out with JO next turn for 9. Or no, FOE for 10. Yeah.
HAO and OY.
Just saw that one.
That one's
Wow.
11.
Yeah.
Oh, man, what a crazy game. And
there is one more game.
We still have one more today. Yeah, that's the coolest part. Let me check who's. Oh, we've got Michael Fagan and Joey Malik, and we have Max Panitch and Jason Lee next round. Both of those look like they're going to be really cool. Let's check the standings and see who we want to take. Sykes is going to drop to 8-2. Joey Malik is waiting, pending at 7-2. So if he wins, he will actually probably be in first on spread here. Ryan Chepita is 5-4. Chapita. Michael Fagan 5-4 as well. Jason Lee at 5-5. We'll give you one of those two, but a marquee matchup: either Michael Fagan and Joey Malik, and a former North American champion and a North American runner-up, or Max and Jason, who are two awesome players in their own right. One more game coming today here on Let's Play Scrabble. So y'all don't get ready to tune out or jump ship early. That's going to be a can't miss game.
Yeah, nice find by Max of HAO, his best play. And this ends the game. Wow. Yeah, once again, crazy stuff. If you haven't liked the video or subscribed to the Let's Play Scrabble.com YouTube channel, you have to do that. Otherwise, your votes don't count. That's just how it is. I'm sorry. And yeah.